Somehow the I'm not African arguments just keep getting weaker. So let's dive into it.
I'm not from Africa, bro. And you might be, I don't know, Eritrean.
Niggas don't want to take DNA tests? Fine. But plenty of black Americans have. This 23andMe study looked at 5,000 self-identified African Americans and found average ancestry 73.2% African, 24% European, and 0.8% Native American. If you want to look it up yourself, it's in the American Journal of Human Genetics. Now cue the same nigga who believe a YouTube video called The Real Truth They Hid From You Part 17 being like, nah, I need a stronger methodology than DNA science. Just fuck. Next, let's look at literature. Zora Neale Hurston has a book called Barracoon, which is a first-person account of the last enslaved African brought to America in his own words. A man named Cudjo Lewis, originally named Oluwale Kosola, told her about the Dahomey raid on his village, where he was held, the Clotilda ship that brought him here, the name of the slave owner, his time in servitude in Alabama, and later his founding of Africa Town. Oh, and they found the boat, nigga. Archaeological evidence. Let's examine religion. Catching the Holy Ghost looks eerily similar to this Yoruba Orisha possession ceremony, doesn't it? That's damn sure not how the Queen's church does mass. Fuck is you talking about? I may sound thirsty, but it's more of a hunger. Let's talk food. Gumbo is a Bantu word for okra. Ngumbo. Okra is not native to America. It came with the slaves, brother. Now how about dance? You mean to tell me footworking from Chicago is different from this Vodun dance I saw in the ceremony in Ghana? That shit look like Walla Cam. It's the same shit, nigga! Here's where I'ma end, cause it's hot. Niggas in my comments talking about a book called They Came Before Columbus, but they clearly didn't read it. I did. The book makes the argument that Africans reached the Americans before Columbus, evidenced by sculptures in South Central America called the Olmec heads with African features. The problem with using it for your argument is that even if black Americans descended from them, those people came from Africa. That's the whole thesis of the book. I understand the damage that 500 years of anti-blackness does to the psychology of a person. We've been told that to be black, to be African, is to be genetically inferior, is to be criminal, is to be worthy of death and worse. So I get it. But hating, devaluing, or denying Africa as a black person, it's just hating yourself. To read the essay I wrote about all this shit, I had a good fucking time. Comment, subscribe.
Just to be clear, I'm a Black American at FBA and ADOS, whatever the fuck we're calling ourselves this year, who believes that they are of African descent. Our ancestors came from Africa, okay? Like, I'm not doing the whole native. If you want to bring your copper color ass on my page, prepare to get blocked. I'm not going to dialogue with you. I'm just going to block you. A lot of you are bots, robots. I don't know who's funding you. I know that it benefits the empire that black people in the diaspora fight among each other. I'm not with that. I'm about unity. I think all black people, all African people around the globe need to be united. I believe in the proponents of Pan-Africanism. I believe in global solidarity and global, we all have the same enemy. If you're not on that shit, see yourself the fuck off my page. I'm just gonna block you. I'm a Black American, but I am an African, okay?
So I shared my DNA results on TikTok and some very interesting things happened. One, I found out that I am no longer a Black American. Yes, I was told that Black Americans do not have African DNA. And because my ancestry came back sitting at an 86.4% African ancestry, I am an African. I am not a Black American, so I would be considered an African American. So there has been a clear separation within the community, and I'm here to let y'all know, if you have West African ancestry, you are not a Black American, okay? The Black Americans were already here, okay? They are the owners, they are the inhabitants of the land. They have already been here. Their ancestors did not go through slavery. Their ancestors did not experience colonization, and their ancestors have nothing to do with Africa. This is what I've learned. This is what I have come to the conclusion. By the way, I'm not offended to be African at all. Not offended at all. But I do have a couple of questions for you guys. So since you guys have made a clear separation and you are not a part of the African diaspora, my question is, who gets to claim the culture? Because it can't be you. Because the Black American, the African American culture that was built here in the United States was built by the descendants of Africans. And in fact, some of our most famous leaders who helped build the culture never made a separation or said that they have nothing to do with Africa. In fact, Frederick Douglass repeatedly referred to Black Americans as the descendants of Africans. W.E. Du Bois referred to us as part of the African diaspora. He centered Africa as the foundation to the Black identity. Marcus Garvey spoke of Black people globally as African people. His entire movement was built on African origin and pride. Malcolm X described Black Americans as Africans in America. Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, identified as African descent. Even when we look at the Black church, it was built off of the African culture that was brought over here. Its spirituality, its dance can be tracked back to Africa. Our music, the culture that we built, derived from Africa. So if you guys don't claim that, then what is your culture? I would love to know.
I did my 23andMe, and I'm 23% Igbo.
Oh my God.
Which is so fantastic. And I put it on Twitter, and this is like every Nigerian on Twitter was like, "Oh my God, fantastic!" But every single one was positive. Like it was the most, inclusive experience I've ever had in my life. I was very happy, but it was obvious because Jamaicans are all Igbo, right?
Yeah.
Jamaica's just Nigeria.
Right.
It's my advanced theory of
So
Jamaica.
you had no clue that you had any Nigerian in you.
Well, I guessed.
Okay, but now you know definitively.
Now I know.
Wait, what is it? So
definitively.
23%
significant
Igbo?
amount.
It's not enough for a tipping point, as we've learned from this book. It's not enough, Malcolm. You're
No,
like 7% short.
We can change the rules. You know, Nigerians.
Hey,
We like to switch the rules.
Nigerians with 1%.
Each one of us.
So I
because
went.
Nigerians will be technically 1% or is the more than
On the Jamaican front, I was at the World Championships, track championships, and I see Shelly Ann Fraser Price, right, one of my heroes. So she's like this big. I go up and say, "Hello, my name is Malcolm. I don't know if you know this. I'm half Jamaican." She says, "There's no such thing as half Jamaican.
there's only Jamaican.
There's only Jamaican."
Yeah,
That's the right attitude.
That is the right
That is the right
attitude.
attitude. There's no such thing as 23% Nigerian.
Yeah, I
Yes,
sometimes think it
complete
would. That's what
Nigerian.
like if instead of the British, if like Africans colonized the world, no one would have been left out. Do you know what I mean? Because because all other colonization was like you're not like us.
Yeah.
And then like whereas Africans are very much anyone black anywhere, they just go like no, you're with us. Let's go.
So we're responding today on a trending issue, a trending video that has been on the internet, and that has been that TikTok precisely has been that a lot of FBAs are coming out to say that they are not Black Americans, they are not African Americans rather, but they are Black Americans, and that they were on ground, and even though some came across the transatlantic slave trade, they were not as the way the white imperialist leaders at the time portrayed the case, that they were indigenous Black people. But the recent studies and some of the videos that we are sharing today begins to prove otherwise, that some, or most of the DNA tests that have been taken, 75% of them point towards people having African descent, and maybe a little bit of 5% European, in their bloodline or DNA. And so the contention about who being Black and who is not Black now comes to light. The question is this: who are the foundational Black Americans? Who are the foundational Americans? And the argument that is coming from certain schools of thought is this: that most Black people actually, or all Black people around the world, have their origins from Africa. And I think that cannot be denied, whether you are melanated, And I think the subject on this matter is not really about whether you are African or you are not African, American or you are not American. I'm trying to see a bigger picture, and I think that bigger picture is about dividing us more than uniting us. For me, humanity has its primary origin from somewhere. Everyone who is of color, everyone who is of white color, descended from somewhere. They all began from somewhere. Humanity had an origin point, and everyone migrated and began to experience genetic, adaptation and modification based on their environment. And so, for me, this is just my personal thought and view. I think this is all black people are one, whether you are in United States of America and Africans. And why I'm making this video is because I've also run into videos where I've heard Africans make derogatory statements about black Americans. When I mean Africans, I mean those who came into the United States, those Africans in diaspora, and makes some very funny slogans. That is absolutely wrong. If we understand that these are our brothers and sisters, then we are able to fight what divides us. We are stronger together as a people, and we are weaker when we are divided. So let me know your thoughts and comments in this comment section.